Okay, hello and welcome to today's Q&A. As you can tell, I'm a little bit under the weather today. I've got a little bit of a cold, so I will be doing my best. I'll be doing my best to try and answer any questions you have that are fitness, training, or nutrition led. Now, very exciting time as well, because some of you will be getting a push notification through the app, the James Smith Academy app, which is a new feature we've been trying out so that people on the James Smith Academy app can, whilst doing their online PT, get a bit more value from it by jumping in on any of these lives and asking anything you want. Now, in news, I bought a dog today. I've been saying about buying a dog for a very long time. Do you know what? Because you guys are loyal live viewers, I'm going to show you the dog. Here he is. So this is Alfie, and I will be collecting him on Saturday, which is a very, very exciting time for me. I've been wanting a dog for such a long time. So I've got myself a Kelpie cross Coolie. So there he is. So, you know, fitness, training, nutrition, and all of that, it could be a thing in the past. I could end up being a dog YouTuber, and they're both the parents. So that's quite cool as well. You can see the Kelpie and the Coolie. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. You guys should be as well. You're probably going to be like, yeah, fuck fitness, James. Just tell us about that. Okay. Any questions you have, fitness, training, nutrition, you get them in. I'm going to answer them. Let's go. Is fruit better than vegetables? I don't think you can put them into a dichotomy like that. So fruit, vitamins, minerals, fiber. You know, vegetables, fiber, minerals and vitamins again. Now, vegetables often are lower in calorie amount, and fruit do have natural sugars in them. So imagine this. If you're on a fat loss phase, vegetables are amazing. You know, bar extremes, you can't really eat too many vegetables. When we also give people more vegetables, fiber, which is a big element of health, digestion, you know, eating vegetables can offset your chances to get things like colon cancer, help you take really good poos. So, you know, there are non-digestible elements to vegetables that are very, very good. But then fruit, that sugar content shouldn't be demonized or, you know, looked at in a negative light. So let's say, okay, I'm about to train, I'm feeling a bit flat, a bit lethargic, maybe a bit of pineapple, some strawberries. Oh my God, I feel better. Or just finished a workout, you feel your blood sugar crashing. Fruit is great. And again, fruit can be a great part of a periodized part of someone's life. I love pineapple, strawberries. I'm not actually that big on vegetables. I eat them because I have to, but I'm not a big fan of them. So I do love fruit. And, you know, there were bodybuilders, trails of thoughts for years that, you know, fructose couldn't be absorbed to replace muscle glycogen. I think fruit and vegetables, absolutely no-brainers, get them in. There's going to be more benefits than, there are no real negatives to consuming them, you know, in the big scheme of things. What's the dog's name? I'm calling him Alfie, and he is going to be partially owned by my girlfriend as well. Okay, Louise, I need 160 grams of protein a day, but I'm struggling. Any tips for high good protein food? Now that's a pretty moderate, it's actually quite high. It's quite a high amount of protein. So one thing I would ask is potentially excess body weight causing your protein target to be quite high? So if you're 80 kilograms, unless you're quite a tall, big person, there is a chance that maybe you're being given protein from non-lean mass. So my second way I'd say to you, okay, what about looking at your height in centimeters and grams of protein? Because let's say you're, you know, 145 centimeters tall. Maybe we reduce your protein amount to that. But again, 160 grams, not the end of the world. I would then look to maybe using a protein shake. You might even want to double up your protein shake. You do that after a workout that's 50 grams, as long as you can tolerate it and digest it. I think that's also a very good way of doing it. But again, if you get to like 130, 140, it's not like your progress has been ruined. And over time, it might be something like having a bit more meat in your portions, or, you know, having an omelet for breakfast instead of cereal, even though eggs aren't the be all and end all when it comes to protein. But do your best when it comes to protein. If it's not hindering or holding you back on your goals, it's not the end of the world. Playlist for workouts. If you type into Spotify, James Smith Bangers of the Week, let me get it out for you. I'll get it out for you now. James Smith Bangers of the Week. This is what I'm listening to when I'm training. So there you go. James Smith Bangers of the Week. How good's that camera? And what, 24,000 people listening to that. So you fucking help yourself. Love your work, currently reading your new book. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your insight, extremely helpful. Thank you. Would you recommend to increase one's vertical jump leap? Maybe things like box jumps, plyometrics in general. It's quite an interesting goal to have that. Now, keep in mind, people, the box jump was designed to reduce the amount of impact that athletes were having in a bid to be plyometric. So the idea is you jump up onto the box, you step down. So every time someone jumps down from a plyometric box, I die a little bit inside. Getting through Christmas functions, any tips saying no to alcohol? Brie, I have actually just launched, this may be a woman's name. It's a difficult one. Saying no to alcohol should be fairly easy. Just say no. That's another reason I'm excited to get a dog, because I could just say no to social occasions. But just don't drink. Maybe go on Diet Cokes, opt to drive, something like that. I'm the same as you. I drank on Saturday and it's wiped me out. And I feel ill because of it. Chris, how nervous are you for Thursday night? Sydney Opera House? The venue is like there. I'm not nervous, mate. I get excited, but I try not to think about it too much until the day. So I'm not nervous. Hammersmith Apollo, on the other hand, 3,500 people at my parents' first event. I was a little bit nervous for that. Is it okay to double up on protein shakes in terms of nutrition? Yeah, I mean, especially post-workout. Post-workout's probably going to be the best time to double up on shakes. And again, for quite a lot of people watching this, if you're a big person, that might be a good strategy anyway. But doubling up, maybe go to 1.5, see if you tolerate it. Some people do get stomach upset. How to start a new exercise that's so difficult, almost impossible. I have weighted dips on my new plan, tried yesterday, total fail. How to start to get better, stronger. So if you can't do body weights, then go to the assisted chin-up machine. That could be what was intended when weighted dips put in your plan. So in essence, it's weighted because the weight is helping you. And then when you get to the point where you can do the reps of dips, then you might go to body weight plus added weight. So most gyms have got those little platforms where you can kneel on the pad and the pad takes away some of your weight. So I would try and recommend to that. What would you say are the best fruits and vegetables? Depends on what you like. Because let's say I say strawberries, you don't like strawberries. It's not ideal. I wish I liked melon, but I don't like melon. So yeah. Hey, James, love your content. Thanks to you, I've lost 15 kilograms calorie counting. Well done, Alan. I would like to know if it is better to count the calories before or after you cook the meats, vegetables. Well, this is one I always say that I scan like chicken or whatever. I often do weigh it before it's cooked because you lose a lot of the moisture during the heating process, which changes the weight. So I often do it off the weight before I cook it. So then I can get like a pack of chicken, 500 grams, book MyFitnessPal, next. Because most foods I assume get lighter. So you don't want to be giving yourself too much. But I wouldn't, wear a huge amount with it. When counting your calorie, just answered that question. Return to the challenge after injury, keep having setbacks and struggling to motivate myself. Any advice on how to stay motivated? One day at a time. What have I got to do today? Can I do it to my best? Cool. What about tomorrow? We'll deal about tomorrow when we get to tomorrow. So that's what I'd say for that. How often should you rotate exercises? So the programs in which I set in the academy, often 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. However, some people don't like doing the same workout for longer periods of time. That's why I made the James Smith strength system. So if any of you get bored a lot and you want to get stronger, I created a workout plan where no two workouts are the same. You work in a periodization of a month, but those 4 weeks of the month are at different intensities of 1 rep max. So if you do go to, I'll put a link in here. If you do go to my app, you can trial this for free. So jamesacademy.com. Maybe I have to go HTTPS. Let's try www.jamessmithacademy.com. I'm trying to give you a hyperlink. Maybe it was fine. There you go. So you click on that. You can request this from one of my coaches and you can trial it for free for a week. And if you like it, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to. So rotation of exercise depends on the goal, depends on the person, depends on the preference. Training morale is something that is very important to me and my coaches in the academy. So yeah. Can all your muscles grow at the same time? If I hit all body part, will they grow at the same time? I don't know what you're really asking there. So if we optimally wanted to grow a muscle, we wouldn't train them all at the same time. In a workout, you might train, 3, 4 areas, maybe like a push, a pull, a squat, and maybe an isolation. But there is no exercise that would grow every muscle. Because when we want to grow a muscle, often we do need to isolate it, which means that we're choosing just one plane of motion or one joint at a time. Any issues using the hip thrust machine, or is the barbell better? Natasha, do you know what I'd say? What do you prefer? Personal preference for the win. What do you feel gets you the better contraction? What is the easiest setup? If you're someone that gets a bit anxious setting up a barbell hip thrust and the hip thrust machine's there and it feels the same, you might want to opt for that. But what is better is up to you. Caroline, Blown away with the support given at JSA. Wish I joined ages ago. Still struggle to hit protein. How important is it? Thank you very much for being a part of the James Smith Academy. Always appreciate every single one of you that is a part of it. Struggle to hit protein. Protein is there to make your life easier. If you're getting results without it, cool. But as you creep that protein target up, whether your goal is fat loss or muscle growth, it's going to benefit. So being satiating, keeping you full between meals from that fat loss side of things is going to be amazing. When it comes to muscle growth, when it comes to recovery, when it comes to regeneration, you got to think outside of muscles. So we've got muscle protein synthesis, but outside of that, protein synthesis is a big thing. We've got skin, nails, hair. All of these things are regenerating on a constant basis, and the majority, if not all of the nutrients in which we need for regeneration comes in through what we put in our mouth. And do you want to know something that's crazy, right? I got this from Dr. Cohen, we are a donut. If you think about it, from our mouth to our bumhole is a tube. It's one tube. There's loads of flesh on the outside. The foods that we consume never go in our body. They go through the tube. They go from the mouth to the throat to the stomach. It's prepared, and then through the intestines all the way to the bumhole where it's pooed out. So you got to think that all of this food that we eat goes through the donut to the other sphincter to sphincter, and then it's pooped out, and all of the nutrients from it is squeezed out and put into the bloodstream to circulate, to fuel everything. Isn't it crazy that we're not just eating and pooing, it goes all the way through us. We don't even eat food, we borrow food, it's rented, we put it in and a bit comes out, which is why we need fiber and vegetables and goodness. And isn't it crazy that our body gives us feedback? When we eat healthy, we feel great. And when we eat shit, we feel like shit. It's crazy that we literally are created. This is one of the things that got me so motivated to get into shape. So much of what we are right now, everything you see here is a combination of all my habits and diets and everything I've eaten and drunk for the last few months. So, we can literally make our skin better, our complexion, our energy, our vitality, our libido, all of these things just through what we put into one end of the donut. And some of you kinky fuckers, what you fucking put in the other end of the donut, you know what I'm saying? Hello from Chicago, the Windy City. Did you know apparently the Chicago is not called the Windy City because of the weather, but to do with the amount of lies that came out of the mouths of politicians? They used to call it wind. I don't know. That could have been made up. You just never know. Hello, just moved to Sydney from UK. Jet lag is kicking my ass. Haven't done a single session this week. Any advice? One hot day doesn't make a summer. If you're a bit jet lagged now, get over it. I was a little bitch with the jet lag. It's absolutely savage. So, do your best. Do your best. Go for a walk. Get outside. Best things for you, sunlight in the eyes for when you're feeling tired. And some people say, oh, you push through. I don't know. Go get some melatonin from the pharmacy. Sleep whenever you want. And I usually go 6 milligrams, 4 milligrams, 2 milligrams. I melatonin for only 3 days and then push myself through. Okay, never been to a gym. Should I get a personal trainer or would something like your app be sufficient? Feels like you're baiting me in with a question. Look. Personal trainer in Australia, $120 for a session. In the UK, £55 for an hour, whatever. My app is less than that for a month. Not only that, you get a week for free. You get a week for free, and I mean all access for free. So I pay for your trial. Then after that, you get a 2-week money-back guarantee. So in the first 3 weeks of using my app, you don't think it's worth tremendously more than what you pay for it, let me know and I'll refund you. And if I do refund you, that actually costs me money because I have to pay my coaches for fucking awesome. So, that was what I would say for that. But I'm willing to roll the dice because I have faith in my team and they're good. What would you say is a healthy body fat for men? You said in the video about abs was 2. So here's the thing, right? It's so different between all of us men. Me, if I get to 11, 10% body fat, which is fucking pretty low, I don't have abs. For some other people, they have abs. But as you can see, my limbs stay very lean. Even though at the moment, I'm probably some of the fattest I've been in a while. So I'm carrying quite a bit of fat at the moment. But if I come back here, you can see striations in my leg. So it's crazy that I have very lean limbs. As you can see there, bit of separation. But I'm carrying a tremendous amount of body fat for what I would consider is an optimal standard. So here's the thing. I can't say, oh yeah, 11% is good. Because 11% for me is quite chunky. But for other people, it's not. It depends on the person, the distribution of the fat. If your leanness, let's say, starts impeding your mood, your energy, your vitality, your libido, it's probably a bit too low. And if you are dieting and you feel like that, even though you still have fat, maybe take a diet break, maybe have a little bit of time off. Talal, which 2 or 3 exercises do you feel have helped your BJJ performance? It's difficult because I don't do weight training to get better at jiu-jitsu. I do weight training to remain strong, but to play devil's advocate, let's go trap bar deadlift, chin up, bench press. Because if you only could do 3 exercises, you want to push, you want to pull, and you want to lift. So that's my answer for you. Tatiana. Bust down, Tatiana. I'm a 46-year-old. Can I do cardio running and a little strength training in a day, or should I do cardio one day, strength the other? Depends. At the end of the day, let's say you train every day for an hour. Whether you want to do 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, or 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, it's completely up to you. So again, what works best for you? God bless, let's hope there's a gym 15 minutes away, right? And you can run there, 15 minutes cardio, lift some weights and run back. Dream, absolute dream boat. You'd be out of the house an hour. But then again, if your gym is half an hour away, why not drive to the gym and spend that hour in the gym doing your weights that you need to do? Put on a playlist, put on one of my podcasts, enjoy yourself. Then the next day you're like, nah, not even getting in the car, not even going near the gym. I'm going to go for a lovely run. So yeah, that's what I would say. Tom Hemmings, are plateaus a myth? Absolutely not. So strength training and muscle growth plateaus do occur, but let's look at fat loss plateaus. After a certain amount of time, whatever amount of calories you're on as a deficit will stop working. So even if I went on 1,500 calories a day for a year, if I came back here, I wouldn't die, but that 1,500 calories would stop working. My body would eventually get used to it. Now, that's not sensible for me because that's just an unsustainable amount of calories. I'll be like a gaunt, tired version of myself here. But yeah, plateaus absolutely exist, which is why it's so important that I educate people on what they need to do when they hit one. Georgia, are you going to be having more Sydney shows? Can honestly say, page 238 of How to Be Confident Changed My Life. I need to see you live. Also, less than a month left of the challenge. There will be more Sydney shows, probably not for a while, because I haven't written a fourth book, and this is the third book tour, and there will be the only event there. But I'm sure in time to come, there'll be events and stuff happening. So yes. Listening to your podcast got me back into BJJ after a few years off. Now I hurt everywhere once again. I hope you're good. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you're back into it. I'm a 40-year-old, have osteopenia in my spine, was told to lift weights, but the PT at the gym just keep pushing me for the cardio just in case. Well, you know, when people have got bad backs, let's say bad backs, degeneration, spinal issues, I think the worst thing you could do is not to train or not to put some load. As long as you're not majorly excessing the amount of load that your body can take. Sometimes I think it's healthy for people with bad backs to put their spines under more load, a sensible amount. Obviously, if your capabilities are here, you don't want to go all the way here, you want to go here. Here's a way that I understand a lot of injuries for you. With the cardio, absolutely, train your cardiovascular system. Because imagine this. This is a very quick one for you. The cardiovascular system's like the London Underground. Passengers get on and off. Oxygen on, carbon dioxide off. Carbohydrates in, carbohydrates out, whatever. So you want that system to be healthy. But a lot of I got an injury in my elbow. You might be able to hear the click. And what's happened here is this. Here's the capacity of my elbow joint. Here's the amount of work I'm giving it. Cool. So I get elbow pain. I've got golfer's elbow. If you listen carefully, you hear the crunching of my ligaments over the elbow. So what do people do when they injure or they have tendonitis or something? They go like this. They just drop the amount of work they're doing. But the capacity of the joint hasn't been challenged. So when I come back to training, boom, there's this discrepancy and I get injured again. So a lot of the time, and this was the craziest thing, where I thought I was doing too much training on my arm, what I should have done instead is increase the capacity of that joint to be able to handle the amount of training I'm doing. So if the capacity of your spine is here and you're lifting here and you fuck your back up, is the issue that you were training your spine, or was the issue that your spine didn't have the capacity to match the amount of work or load you wanted to give it? Whether it was picking up your kids, playing sport, swinging a golf club, whatever it is. So sometimes the result to getting back from injury actually sits in not doing nothing, it's the other way, it's doing more. So the capacity of whatever joint it is can keep up with the demand of what you're doing. So I hope that helped. Congrats on the Aussie citizenship. It was permanent residency, but I hope to get citizenship in a few years. How can I join the Mansformation Challenge if I'm already a JSA member? So I'm obviously not going to charge people that are James Smith Academy members more money for it. There is a Mansformation link that I put out in a few emails. If not, email me directly at james@jamesacademy.com and I'll drop you a link. It's at no extra cost, but your membership does have to last the duration of the Mansformation. So if any guys on here watching, I'm putting together a little workout group training thing for men. It's Men's Mental Health Month. I'm going to be doing a donation to charity, and there's a lot of us guys that are just coming together to see what weight we can lose before Christmas. We can put it all back on again. But yeah, Dan and Kirsty, I hope that helps. I've lost 2 stones since early August. My weight has stagnated since early November, but I can see the difference in the mirror. I know weight isn't everything, but why does this happen? it's one of those metrics you might have to drop. Ultimately, if I said this, I can make you lighter or I can make you look better. What would you pick? If you're getting the look better, take it. Take it. Maybe look to something else for progress, whether it's clothes fitting, how you're looking, how fast you can run the 10K. There are plenty of ways. You get to determine what winning looks like. Don't forget that. Love the app and the workout. Coaches are top notch. Are we meant to do them in order listed or by the day? Yeah, so ideally do your workouts in the way they're listed, because a lot of the times you'll be given the hard stuff first. I know it's not all the time. But yeah, it's up to you. If you are supposed to start with the leg press and there's 5 builders queuing for the leg press, feel free to do something else first and come back. So yeah, it's not the be all and end all. Never been to the gym before. Do I need a PT or is it, hey, I've already answered that, you bastard. What would you do differently if you were to start all over again in fitness first? Ask me a different question, because I'm so grateful for everything that hasn't worked out for me in life. So you can't ask me what I'd do differently, because I wouldn't do anything differently, because all my shortcomings, all my faults, all the mistakes, all my fuck ups are what has made me who I am today. I get this even when I get anxiety when I'm drinking, right? Sometimes I drink, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. But then I go, James, that drunken idiot that you are is the reason that you managed to be successful. You can't change or taint your past. For anyone out there that's like got demons or like, oh, if I could do it differently, do it differently. You can't do it differently. You can't. And there might be imperfections in your persona. There are, of course. I've got imperfections. I'm far from perfect. I can be an arsehole. I can be selfish. I can be a dickhead. I can be inattentive. I can be, very insensitive to people's emotions. But that doesn't mean we need to be perfect. You know what I mean? I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change who I am, because ultimately it's the imperfections and the idiosyncrasies that make us who we are. And when we look at history, we can't ever look at it in a means of what would I do differently, because we can't do it differently. So instead, ask me, if you're in someone in a similar shoes, if you're in a fitness first, if you're in a gym, what is it you need help with? And ask me the question that way. That would be my advice. And if you haven't hit like already, if you haven't shared, hit share. Okay. Thank you. Finally making progress after prioritizing protein. Excellent work. Interesting. I lost 13 kilograms in 5 weeks, training weights 5 times a week. I've lost nothing in 2 weeks. I've just joined the academy to get it all happening again. Thanks for your knowledge. Tom, 2 weeks isn't a lot, mate. 2 weeks isn't a lot. It's not a lot. I'm very glad you're on board. Welcome. And I'm sure we can get things moving. And even if, it takes a bit longer, maybe your deficits work to a certain point, but now you're smaller. You now eat less. You now don't carry as much weight, and it's not such a challenge in your workout. So we could reduce calories by 10%. We could increase steps. There are so many things at our disposal, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Not a question, but currently reading the second book. Absolutely love it. And want to say thanks. Sending love from Tokyo. Konnichiwa. I really hope that's Japanese. Otherwise, yeah. Big time fan of your stuff, Smithy. What are your thoughts on Stronglifts program? 5x5. I don't know much about it, but if I only know it as 5x5, do you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. My program's better. I have no authority to say that, but you got to back yourself. I actually don't know. It could be amazing. It could be doing amazing things. I don't know what it is. The thing is that Grinch dude, when I go to the urinal, I don't look at another man's penis. Do you know why? Because it doesn't change my own penis. It's always going to be small. All right. It's always going to be small. Looking at theirs isn't going to make mine big. All right. That's a joke. Satire. If you're British, you find it funny. So, what do we call self-deprecating banter is the form of British banter that, especially the rugby chaps such as myself have used over the years is, you joke about your inability to satisfy a woman and having a small penis. And if you don't find that funny, then maybe don't join the paid program, because, we might clash. That was my Boris Johnson impression. That was good. Hi, mate. I'm down 15 kilograms fat, packed on some muscle while in deficit. Now trying to get shredded Kruger, but I'm plateauing and struggling to shift those last bits of fat. Any tips? It's not pretty, this bit, mate. Calories down, cardio up. It's not pretty to say that. You're probably saying, I can't take my calories any lower. From what you're asking me, calories down, exercise up. But instead, be happy where you are, mate. All right? Maybe move the goalposts. Them jumpers you got down for goalposts, maybe move them a bit. That's what I'd say. If you only have 3 days a week to train and build muscle, how would you split it? I'll tell you now, Tristan, okay? This is my bread and butter. I'm giving out a free program. If you type in James Smith Academy free program into Google, it should come up. But I'll give you a 3-day split, push-pull legs. There's another YouTube video I've done. If you type in James Smith push-pull legs, you'll find it. Some people go, do push, do pull, do legs. No. This is your workout. All right, you ready? Anyone listening? This is off the cuff. So you want to build muscle 3 days a week. You haven't specified where. Okay, let's start off with your lower components. Bulgarian split squat, quad dominant, unilateral, flipping difficult. Start your Monday. Rear foot elevated split squat for you, my friend. Very quadricep and glute. So then Wednesday, I'll probably look at the deadlift. Probably just a traditional, mate. If you want to do sumo, that's fine. So then we've got more of a hamstring dominant lower body compound. Then last day of the week, maybe a leg press, right? You've been standing up, you've been doing some hard stuff. When it comes to packing on muscle, the upper body can have a bit of time off, right? Say 3. How many? 4 to 5 sets. All right, 4 to 5 sets. How many reps? Split squats, 8 to 12 a leg. Deadlifts, probably up to 8 reps, 8 to 10. Leg press, cool, my bad memory. Whatever you feel like. Depends how fatigued you are across the week. Either go high volume, low weight, or low volume, high weight on the reps. Cool. Now we need an element of push. Let's go military press, bench press, dips. An element of pull. Let's go body weight or assisted chin-ups. Let's go Aussie row because you get down under. And let's go upright row. Cool. Then on top of that, if you've got any time left in the gym after doing 4 to 5 sets of those compounds, it's probably going to take you about an hour. But if you've got a bit more time, you could do some isolation on the biceps, although they've been hit in the pull elements. You could do some isometrics on the shoulders, but they've probably been hit on the push and pull. Could do some isometrics on the calves, etc., etc. But that's how I'd split it up, mate. Tristan, there you go. Have a free program. You owe me £10. Okay, we're going to reel through the last one. It's going to be a 30-minute live. We've got 4 minutes left. Let's get in. Any tips on leg exercises for knee pain? I would see a physio, mate. I am afraid I probably just do not know enough on that. Okay, I'm due to finish my first plan set by one of your coaches, which I've loved. Do you get a new program automatically when you finish program, or do you need to request another? I'd request another. When you get to the end, it does have a little prompt. Whatever you want. And Jack, be bossy, say what you like, say what you didn't like. A lot of the time, us coaches in the academy, your program is like a jacket. We put a jacket on you. We cannot assume it'll be perfect at first, but that's why we can tailor it in. I pay the coaches on their interactions as well. So don't feel like you're ever being needy, because if you are, it's literally just money out of my pocket that's going into theirs. So it's fantastic. Fair play for saying you've been hoodwinked about the jib jab. Yeah, do you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's come out about the vaccine. I still stand by the vaccine saved lives, right? The vaccine was effective. I do believe the vaccine stopped. You probably ruined my fucking video now because I said the word vaccine. It saved lives. I do think it helped. I do wish there was more transparency. I wish there was more talk about vaccine injuries. I wish there was more studies and everything. I wish we know more about transmission. But yeah, I did. This is the thing, right? And I'll be honest now, people, we're going to clip this up for TikTok. I do take serious topics and put a satire, crass, facetious twist on them. And I do that selfishly for engagement. I did say a lot of fucking inappropriate things about a lot of people. I was wrong. I've apologized to quite a lot of those people. I was just picking it up and running with it. I'm not that smart in that space of science or vaccines. I know that just saying that you were wrong isn't enough in a lot of places, but yeah, you know, I fucked up. But in the grand scheme of things, right, I'm a good guy. I'm not here. I didn't get paid by the government to promote the vaccines, right? I've never done a paid post. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I fucked up, but we live and we learn. If you can get over that, we've got a bright future together. And if you can't, don't hit your head on the way out on the door. We get a Lord on the fair points. That's a fucking good question. I'll text her in a second. Hold on, I'll tell you what. Let's make this a bit interesting, shall we? Let's make this bloody interesting. Where is she? Lucy Lord. Lord Lucy. Lord Lucy. There she is. There she is. All right, don't want you reading them messages. Lucy Lord, I'm currently doing a live on YouTube as we speak. People on the live. Actually, Brie Lambert has said, will you get a Lord on the fair points? You land in 14 hours. I'd love to get the microphones out and for you to come on. So yeah. Lovely program. Can't wait for progress to show. How many calories is too low for an average Joe? My friend is harping on about 1,000 net calories a day, but all I hear is complaints about hunger. It's probably affected, mate. 1,000 calories is going to be good fat loss calories for fucking 99% of men. Is it sustainable? Probably not. You know, if you really wanted to go aggressive, let's say you're like, James, I need to lose 2 kilograms of fat in a week. I go, do you know what? 1,000 calories is pretty good. But think of it this way. Let's remove it out of context. Let's say you're saving money for a house, 50% of your salary. It's not going to be fun, but you will get a house sooner. But instead, put 10% away, rent for a little bit longer. Live with your parents, whatever it is. That's what I'd say. Okay, last few questions. What are your advice on skinny fat, calorie deficit, maybe even worse? I don't really know what skinny fat is, right? You either have muscle or you don't. You either have fat or you do. Not many people, you're either trained or you're not. You're either overweight or you're not. I don't understand skinny fat. Anything you would do differently if training a player for higher, better performance in volleyball? Balanced training program, squat, deadlift, bench, row, and probably some plyometrics, things like vertical jump. I would probably get you to do things like we step off boxes, do vertical jump, things like that. But again, probably the realm of an S&C performance coach. Maybe weighted squat jumps using something like a trap bar. And you know what? Just loads of volleyball training and looking after your injuries, make sure you're well slept, things like that. Sleep, coordination, maybe training around your menstrual cycle, because if you've got premenstrual PMS, you're probably going to have high chance of dislocations, high chance of injuries. So I wouldn't do any plyometrics in that part of your menstrual cycle, but yeah, that would be it. James, been losing 1 kilogram a week for 9 weeks, but in the last week, half stuck on the same weight. Macros, calories not changed, neither. How long shall I to reduce? It could be anything. I've had shits that are heavier than a kilogram. Relax. One hot day doesn't make summer. You would have lost 9 kilograms in 10 weeks. That's fucking mad. Most people can't lose that in a year. Be happy with it. If in a month nothing's happened, then we'll look onto it, okay? Okay, big shout out to the coaches. G, Nicole, Erin, and Monique. Do you mean Fee? But yeah, they are fucking fantastic. Okay. Risk to reward worth it when deadlifting. I'm afraid that's going to be the last question. I'll be here all day. The risk reward. The risk of deadlifting is not severe if you do it properly. If you are powerlifting and you're trying to compete in deadlift competitions, you're probably going to fuck your back up at some point. Because remember, capability, load. If you're a strong man, you're always giving more load than your capability, right? But most fucking normal people aren't. Most normal people are lifting within their load. So for the majority of the people, I believe deadlifting is going to be a fantastic component of training your posterior chain. Isn't it fucked, right? What, after a woman gives birth and has a cesarean, she's not allowed to drive for 6 weeks. But she's supposed to be picking her kid up out the fucking pram and looking after it. Being able to pick shit up is fundamental to being human. There was that one guy that said the risk reward wasn't worth it on Joe Rogan and the world lost their shit. Well, guess what? He wasn't talking about it in the context of general pop. Deadlifting's great. Today, I deadlifted fucking 110 kilograms, 5 sets of 5, after training jiu-jitsu for 2 hours. Why? Because I want to be strong. And the reason that people shit themselves about deadlifting is because they're worried about their spine. Do you know what's bad for your spine? Never challenging it and it being weak as fuck. So thank you very much for tuning in for an afternoon Q&A here. Guys, I really appreciate you supporting me on YouTube. Those of you that came in through the app, fantastic. Lovely to have you here. There is a link in the comments description. I'm on jamessmithacademy.com. If there's anything you need, you can go to our website, jamessmithacademy.com. And yeah, guys, just really appreciate all your support, coming on, listening. And if you want to come back and watch the whole thing, put it on your TV, absolutely do it. Cool. Thank you so much. You're the best. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.